Companies and Allied Matters Act is one of the major business regulations in Nigeria, and for over 2 decades, a lot of stakeholders, both individual and institutional, have been clamoring for an amendment of the since 2004 law. Recently, precisely on the 7th of August 2020, President Muhammadu Buhari signed the CAMA Bill of 2020 into law, and this has triggered certain changes in the new CAMA of 2020. Hello, welcome to Business and Legal Structure. My name is Precious Tojo. On this episode, I'm going to be talking about keynote changes in the new CAMA 2020 and doing business in Nigeria. Major change in the new CAMA of 2020 is the introduction of limited liability partnership and limited partnership. Now, this was never under the new under the old CAMA of 2004. And by limited liability partnership, under the old CAMA, when you want to go into a partnership, you register it as a business name, and then the partnership or the partners are only stated in your document at the point of registration. And so it's basically a business name or an enterprise or a name and style where you have two or more people come together to actually form a partnership on the business name. But the introduction of precisely section 18.2 of the new CAMA gives the grace, or should I say gives the ability of 2 or 3 people to come in to form a limited liability partnership. So in other words, you can form a business partnership and still have a corporate identity because it is now a limited liability. So it has the feature of a partnership business and also has the feature of a corporate entity. That's your whole deal. And you also have this limited partnership where your liability in a company or a partnership in a company is limited to what you had subscribed to at the point of registration. Now, the new CAMA also introduces non-mandatory or company secretary for private companies. Now, under the old CAMA of 2004, whether you are a public company or you are a private company, it was compulsory to have a company secretary. And by company secretary, we mean professional company or corporate secretary. Either they are a member of Institute of Chartered Administrators and Secretaries of Nigeria, or they are a firm of lawyers or chartered accountants. So those are people that could actually be your company secretary or corporate secretary, either as a private company or as a public limited liability company. But the introduction of the new CAMA disposes of the compulsory aspect of limited liability companies, private limited liability companies to have company secretary. It's only made compulsory to public limited liability company because, of course, of the tentacles of and the nomenclature of the business and the complexity, so to say, of a public limited liability company. So under the new CAMA, private companies are not mandated, so to say, under the law to have a company secretary. Now, people are actually misconcepting it. People do not believe that misinterpreting it. The new CAMA did not say a private company cannot have a company secretary. It only says it is not compulsory. So as a private company, you can still go ahead to have your company or corporate secretary, but it is not compulsory under the law. Now, the new CAMA also disposes of the compulsory aspect of having iron company seal. Now, you would agree with me that if you run a company, a limited liability company, or a company, or you are a business consultant that do register people's business, it was compulsory under the old CAMA that your company have a common iron seal, which you will use at the point of compulsorily use at the point of applying for a tax identification number for your company, or applying for VAT certificate, or at the point of opening a corporate or business bank account. The bank details or the bank information requires you to have the impress of your iron common seal for your company on your form that you want to use to open your business bank account. But under the new CAMA, it is not compulsory that companies must have a common iron seal. Like I said earlier on, it's not that companies cannot have, but it is no longer compulsory that companies should have, they must have iron seal, a common iron seal. Now, under the new CAMA, incorporated trustees can actually merge together. They can actually come together to form a whole new body. Now, it was not like that in the old CAMA. Which time you want to put up your objective, you want to do community service, charitable service, you want to be registered, your community, your association, your foundation, your religious body wants to be registered under the incorporated, want to be registered as incorporated trustee, they must be registered differently. But this new CAMA says that if you have common objective, like if I own an NGO, I'm a founder of an NGO, and you want to also set up an NGO that has similar or almost the same objective with my own NGO, we can easily merge together and re-register and have a new common, a new name and a new identity. So that is what the new CAMA has actually introduced. Okay, so that's all I'm going to be taking on this episode. Please watch out for the next episode, where I'm going to also talk about other keynote changes in the new CAMA. The new CAMA rather. It's a whole lot of changes, though it's not all the section that has been affected, but the major section that have been affected by the introduction of the new CAMA. And not just that, certain section has also been amended in the new CAMA. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and sign up for the Legal Toolkit course, where you will learn how to register your business all by yourself from start to finish. All right, till I come your way next time, I'm Precious Tojuku Sanjia.